Hello and welcome to this tutorial. My name is Kathrine and today I'm going to show you the chat settings within ChatGPT that has to do with instant, medium and high. Now, these are settings that you can control whenever you are having a chat with the system, and it has to do with how quickly and how deeply you want ChatGPT to work. So, whenever you go into ChatGPT and you want to have this area here where you ask a question, it's possible to control something on the right hand side. This has to do with the intelligence level of whatever prompt you are asking the system. So normally people don't really think so much about this, so it would be always standardly set on instant, but I'm going to show you the difference between what they call instant, medium and high. Now, if you are clever and always use these purposely, you will see that the response ends differently. And it all has to do with how much information you want the system to give you. So, before we show this as a prompt, let's just look through these 5 steps. First of all, whenever you want to have a new chat in ChatGPT, you go and open a new chat. And what you want to do is that you want to set the so called intelligence level. Now, normally this would be set on instant, but it is possible to switch. So instead of having it on instant, it's also possible to have it on medium or high. Now, whenever you enter a prompt, I guess you've always been told that the prompt has everything to do with the result. Of course, it's important with whatever your question you're giving here, but it's also super important to just set, is it going to be instant? Is it going to be medium? Or is it going to be high? So, what we're going to do, we are going to look into this and see the difference whenever we use instant, whenever we use medium, and whenever we use high. So always look at your task. What kind of speed do you need? Do you want it to just be very, very quick? Well, then you can use instant. If you wanted a little bit more filling, more information, maybe you should use medium. And if you really want to go into the details, you should use high. So let's have a look at how this works. And for the example today, I'm going to give this prompt. And the prompt is as follows: provide a comprehensive overview of Norway, include geography, history, culture, economy, politics, climate, major cities, famous attractions, and interesting facts. Now, the prompt in itself provides a lot of detail, but now we're going to see the differences when we enter this into Chat GPT. So let's go ahead. Okay, so now I am in ChatGPT and I have entered the prompt about Norway here. So before doing anything, just have a look down here. There should be a button, and normally you would see instant, which is a selected setting here. So I'm just going to open this one, and you will now see there's something called intelligence, and we can see it has already got this instant on it. So let's just go ahead and select this, and we're going to send the prompt into the system. Now, the instant one would be really quick. This just gives you a quick overview of whatever your prompt has asked for. And in this selection here, you will see it gives me some photos, it gives me some quick facts about Norway. And if I scroll down, it's given me some information about the geography and the history and climate and the major cities and economy, politics, culture, and so on. Now, just for the purpose of this, just so you see how long the text is, I'm just going to make a copy here. So let's just make a copy of the text. And then I'm going to go into Word just to show you how much information did the system give to me. Now, I have pasted the information into a Word document. So what we will see here is actually it gives me 15 pages. This is just when I put it into a Word document, and you will also see all the photos. They are attached, and we do get a lot of information along the way. So this is just to see how much information you will get when you use the instant one. Now, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to do exactly the same, but this time we are going to do the medium one and we're going to see the difference. Okay, so let's go back and try the medium one. Now, when I get back into ChatGPT, it might be tempting to use the same chat. But the problem with doing that is that if I just change the mode here and choose medium within this chat, the system will already think that it's supposed to use the above information it has already found. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this prompt and I'm going to make a totally new chat. So we kind of start fresh. So let's make a new one. I'm going to paste in the same prompt and then we'll go for the medium version. So let's see, send the prompt and see what happens. Now you will see it's now starting to think a little bit more. So once you choose a more intelligent model, it's going to use more time. And sometimes maybe this is not necessary. I mean, if you really need just a very quick fix, quick info, the first one called instant is perfectly fine. But in this mode, we see it was thinking a little bit more and it does give me a lot of the same information. But basically, if I really look into the information here, we do see it gives me much more information. And actually, it's still working. So, what we need to do is we just want to wait until it's done its job before we look at the results. So, let's just wait a little bit and then we'll be back when it's finished. Now, we are back again, and the system has now given me more information. So when I scroll down here, you will see there's lots and lots more text than the instant version gave me. So I'm going to make a copy of this one and we'll have a look in Word to see the length of this one. So I have pasted this information into a new Word document. And as you will see, we still do have one photo along here, but if we have a look at the document, it's actually only 14 pages. The last one was actually 15, but remember the last one had lots and lots of photos. So what we see here, much more text. So this has given me much more information about what I wanted to know about, which was Norway. So if I actually go and have a look, you will see lots and lots more information. Now, let's try the last one and see the difference. I'm now back in ChatGPT, and as earlier mentioned, I'm not going to go along and just change things within this chat. I'm actually going to make a totally new chat because I don't want the system to remember this information it's already given me. So I'm going up on the left side, click on the new chat, and let's just paste the same prompt. And now, instead of having medium, I'm going to go back and choose high. Now, when I send this prompt into ChatGPT, it's going to spend a lot more time, but let's see how it starts. So again, you will see it's now thinking. So it's using a little bit more time to think. And it says, I'll structure this as a clear country profile and verify current political, demographic, and economic facts with authoritative sources. So, what it's going to do is going to go deeper into the information and material. Now, this one will use more time, sometimes even a few minutes. So, I'm just going to let this now work. You don't need to follow along. You will see that this is just working and working. And then we'll be back very soon and I will show you the results. Oh, the system has been working now for a couple of minutes. It does say here on the top that it was thinking for 59 seconds, but it was actually thinking longer. And what I do see is I actually get more references. And if we scroll down here, just let's go and see what's happened. We will see we also have this one called sources. So I'm just going to click on that one and we see that it actually shows me here on the right hand side all the sources it has been looking into. Now let's have a look. I'm just going to make a copy of this also and we'll go into Word and see how it looks there. We see that when I paste this into Word, actually when it comes to the pages, there's less pages, but I'm just going to zoom in and let's have a look at the information that we actually see within the document. Now, the last one is more going into the truth of all its sources. So sometimes you might end up with less text, but the system, ChatGPT, has been looking deeply into the sources of the information to be 100% sure that everything is true. So it does look a little bit different than the last ones we actually made, but this is the result. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy these documents and you can look in the link below and you can yourself go in and click and have a look just to see the difference between the different versions of the Word documents. So we have 3 of them, and we're going to have a look and see how the differences look in the end. But anyway, always remember whenever you're making a new chat, always go to the settings on the right, use instant, use medium, or use high. Now, just be aware that instant is much, much quicker. So if you don't have time and it's just an easy task, I recommend just use the instant one. But if you want to be sure your information is correct, go for the high. And if you're like in between somewhere, you definitely just use the medium one. So try it out and see how it works for you. Thank you.